Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm back to cover this NBA slate for Tuesday. Two more games tonight. Game 2 between the Bucks and the Celtics and the Warriors and the Grizzlies. See if some of these teams are able to go up 2-0 and see if we can get some ties here. Let's go ahead and get into it. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate it if you hit the like button for me. Subscribe. If you haven't already, you can check out all the socials down in the description. If you play on PrizePicks, you can use my code PROCESS for a deposit match up to $100 when you first sign up. And let's go ahead and get started with the point guard pick. So we have Moran at $10,100. He's coming off of a great game. Just really stepped up in terms of putting up a lot of points. 34 points for him. Almost had a triple-double as well. 10 assists, 9 rebounds. I think he looks good today as well. They just lost. Sad the way that game ended. Had a shot to win it, but wasn't able to come through. They lost by 1 point. I think Moran's going to step up. They definitely don't want to go to Golden State down 2-0. So I'm expecting them to play Moran probably for 40 minutes tonight, depending on how the game goes. If it's close, which probably will be. It was a 1 point game in the first one, and both teams match up pretty well. Draymond did get ejected early in the second half, but we'll see. Desmond Bane is also questionable for the Grizzlies side. Hopefully he plays. If he doesn't, then that's going to open up some value. And it's also going to make Moran take on more shots and more usage. You have Steph Curry, 91. He didn't have as good of a game in the first one. Played well in terms of shooting the ball, but didn't really have many peripherals. He was in slight foul trouble, but didn't really affect his minutes. And it was just a Jordan Poole day where Jordan Poole put up a career high in points in the playoffs with 30 plus. We also have Marcus Smart questionable from the Boston side. If he's not able to play, that would open up way more minutes for Derek White. So keep an eye on that. Other options, I think Poole will be pretty popular today. People are going to go right back to him and chase that. He did get the start in the second half with Draymond ejected. So probably won't see that again unless they decide to do that. But they started Gary Payton to match up with Moran to defend him. Not that he did a great job in that, but we'll see what they decide to do. Jrue Holiday put up a nice game. He's $8,300, 50 fantasy points from him. Made 3 threes. Got you a lot of peripherals. Definitely don't mind him at this price tag, 83. But some of these guys that did put up a good game in the first one, you expect them to get a lot more ownership than guys that might have had a bit down games or not as good of a game. So do you think Holiday will be pretty popular today? I think you can go elsewhere if you wanted to. For the value picks, I think all 3 of these guys, DeAnthony Melton, Derek White, Tyus Jones, are all viable. We saw DeAnthony Melton get a lot more playing time after not really being a big factor in that other series, in their first round series, playing just a few minutes, especially at the end. But he played 25 minutes. He played pretty well out there. If there is no Desmond Bane, this guy would be a lock play. But if Desmond Bane plays, I still think he's a viable value just because it seems like they want to give him some more minutes in a game, in a series where they're going to need to score the ball a lot more. So you see them play with more guards instead of playing more forwards. And there's just no reason to play a lot of bigs in this series. You only need to have Brandon Clark out there, or you can have Jaren Jackson out there if he's not in foul trouble, but there's not going to be many minutes where they're playing like 2 or 3 guys all above 6'10". So Melton should get more minutes going forward in the series, especially if he continues to play like he did in that first game. And then Derek White looks fine as a value at 38, like I mentioned. And then Tyus Jones, same price tag as Melton, 100 less, but do like Melton to play better and played some more minutes. Over at shooting guard, you have a good price tag on Jaylen Brown, $7,700. Didn't really look great in that first game. He was probably, it wasn't on the injury report, but they said he was dealing with like a mild hamstring issue. Didn't really affect him in the minutes. He played 38. I think you can expect him to bounce back. Just a tough spot for the Celtics. They kind of didn't know what to expect from the Milwaukee side. Milwaukee came out and really blitzed them. Expect Boston to step up and play a lot better in this one. Klay Thompson is probably $7K. Didn't have a great shooting night, 6 of 19, just hit 3 threes. Did have that big block at the end of the game to save the win for them. $7K is not my favorite price tag. You have Poole for 100 less, and you got a bunch of other value that looks pretty appealing. Want to go with another Memphis player? Definitely you can make a case to get to Dillon Brooks. He's only $5,500. He played 30 minutes, had a bad game, 3 of 13. Wasn't able to step up like he did in that previous game. Played just 30 minutes, but he was in foul trouble as well. But expect Dillon Brooks to play heavy minutes in this type of series just to defend one of the shooters that they have out there from the Golden State side. And other value picks, you can look to Pat Connaughton at 38. And then if Gary Payton II continues to start, he looks like a good value at only 35. And then in the mid-range, you have Derek White, or you have Grayson Allen comes off the bench, but he still can hit shots for you. But I'm going Gary Payton II, assuming he's starting. Again, even if he doesn't start, you can still consider going to him off the bench. Just a guy that they can rely on to play some sound defense, not really make any mistakes. He has been shooting the ball pretty well from distance. Not something you can count on, but in the game against Denver, 3 of 4, so he's 6 for his last 8 from three-point land. And he can get you rebounds and do some peripherals, handle the ball a little bit as well. 35 looks like a pretty good value on a slate where we do have a lot of good value guards, so you can pay up a little bit at other spots. And then don't mind getting the Pat Connaughton, 38, coming off the bench for the Bucks. Over at small forward, I like Jason Tatum at 98. You have Giannis at 11-4. Tatum had a down game. He was being defended at times by Giannis, and Giannis kind of took him to school at times as well. With Tatum was trying to, when Giannis just backs down Tatum. But at home, going with Jason Tatum today to have a bounce-back performance. You can go down to Jaylen Brown if you wanted to, but we do have value at the guard spot, so able to pay up for Tatum. Other spots would be getting to like Brooks at 55. I like that price tag quite a bit. And then that's kind of it for my favorite value picks at small forward, at least. At power forward, I love this 6K range. Once again, this is where we kind of targeted in that first meeting between these a couple days ago, where we were targeting Brandon Clark and targeting Bobby Portis. You even have Draymond Green here at 65. Like all these guys, Draymond Green might want to play. With some more anger today. He's probably pissed off getting ejected, so I expect a good game from Draymond. But I'm going Bobby Portis here. Had a big game from Jaren Jackson as well. In that first game, put up 52 fantasy points, 10 rebounds, 33 points, hit 6 threes. A massive game from Jaren Jackson. He looks like an awesome play, but I'm going with Brandon Clark. I just have more confidence in Clark to stay out of foul trouble. And we know Clark is getting those minutes basically every single game. He's played over 30 last 3 games, got up to 31 last time out, 33 the game before that. Has shown 45, 47 point upside recently, and can crash the glass, get you some blocks as well. And then we also have like Robert Williams, who I like at only $4,900. Really good price tag for him. He played 22 minutes. Didn't, you have a huge workload, but good news was that he started. Just a bad game from all these Boston Celtics. He only put up 89 points. Expecting him to put up a lot more points today against a team that does give up some threes. And I like Williams way more than Horford. Jaren Jackson looks good. Draymond looks good. I like this range a lot. Not really interested in Tice much or Lopez too much. For just a contrarian play, you could look to Lopez, but he's definitely not played as well as Portis and like Clark and these other guys that are like 1,000 to 1,500 more. So that's about it for the DraftKings side. Leaves you with $5,200 left for the last couple spots. Let's now go ahead and touch on FanDuel. All right, over on FanDuel here, we have Ja Morant, most expensive point guard. He's only $700 more than Steph Curry, so difference by like 1,000 or so compared to the DraftKings number. Still like Ja Morant on both sites, especially if there's no Desmond Bane. It's going to be tough to get away from Ja Morant. He's going to have to shoot a lot more and take a lot more usage offensively. Steph Curry looks okay at 97. Definitely people are down on him from the first game. You can go to him and get hope for some lower ownership. Then you have Jrue Holiday I like at 84. I'm not going to go back to Poole. Well, not that I played Poole, but I'm not going to go to Poole today. Think he's another guy that will probably get a lot more ownership after what we saw last game. And if he's coming off the bench, then I'll probably feel even better about the fade. And then we get the value picks. Once again, Derek White, DeAnthony Melton look pretty good depending on the Marcus Smart news. He's a nice mid-range option. Over at shooting guard, got some good ones to look at. Jaylen Brown at 78.8 looks like good value. Good plays in the 6K range. If Bane is in, he's only 64. That's a great price tag. Clay is only 66. Another guy that's pretty affordable, but tough for me to get away from Dillon Brooks. He's only 400 more than DeAnthony Melton, and only 200 more than Grayson Allen for a guy that starts and plays massive minutes if he's not in foul trouble, which you'd expect him to play a lot today. Hopefully, the first game he was in foul trouble, so he only played 30. Moving over to small forward, I think you can get up to Tatum once again as well. If not, you can get to Jaylen Brown and hope that he can at least put up like 40 or so and be happy with that price tag. Other option would be getting to Desmond Bane at 64 if he is in, and then Clay is also at the position. And then 4K range, you're looking at Connaughton or Grayson Allen. 3K range, not much besides maybe Kyle Anderson. But I'll go ahead and put in Jaylen Brown. Had a tough game in game 1 like the whole team did. Think he'll bounce back And I do like the Grizzlies to get the win today, and I like the Celtics to get the win. I like both teams to even the series. Over at power forward, pay up is Giannis at 11.2 is not that expensive. Other options would be going in the mid-range if you're not looking at Tatum. But yeah, I like the price tags once again on Portis and Brandon Clark. They are just really nicely priced. I'm going to get to both of them. Plugged in, probably put in one at center if I wanted to instead. But love both of these guys are playing big minutes. And then other option would be getting to Robert Williams at 55. He looks like a good option. And then 4K range, not much interest for me, but it would be Connaughton if I had to pick one. But over at center, definitely going with one of these cheaper options here. You can make a case to get up to Jaren Jackson or Draymond a little, but everybody's kind of in the same ballpark in terms of price tag. My favorite would be like getting to Clark or Portis, one of those two, just because they're really nicely priced. Other option would be getting to Robert Williams. You can play him at power forward as well, but there's so many good options that I feel like hopefully Portis and Clark can combine for at least 60, 65, maybe 70 fantasy points. And then hopefully we get big games from Moran, Jaylen Brown, and Brooks. And that's about it for the video. Best of luck tonight, and I'll see you all next time.